It's a waste praying when you have elected a bad person. The only prayer you now pray is the grace to survive the suffering. The height of insensitivity is when people are mourning. You are sending media to do damage control. I'm sorry to say, this is one of the most terrible times to be a Nigerian, because evil is becoming regular. And do you know what that thing does to you? You wake up, they say 40 people have been killed so and so place. You say, oh yeah, and we move on. Do you know what that does to the construct of your mind? It is killing empathy. Death is becoming normal. Empathy is gone. Zero empathy. You say, oh, and we are now debating numbers. No, it's not 50. No, it's 45. We are not debating numbers of chicken that we are roasted. We are debating numbers of lives. Empathy is a normal thing. Growing up, when a man dies in a street, for 1 month, we are talking about it. They see the child, but now it's a normal thing. Mother burying a child, all they do is just photo ops. They take picture, and it's becoming a normal thing. And you talk, and you respond, say, this is wrong. They send media people. The height of insensitivity is when people are mourning. You are sending media to do damage control. When they attack economy, you can talk. When they attack your policy, but when people die and a nation is grieving, tell your media men to shut up. When people are grieving, tell your media to keep quiet. It is lack of empathy. It is lack of empathy that people are mourning. And you are responding and saying, well, hey, don't talk, the man has tried. Nobody's after anybody. We are talking about what we are seeing. When you stay around such ambience and such atmosphere, if you are not careful, it deadens your conscience, it kills your humanity, it swallows and silences your empathy. I'm not a politician, I'm not interested in politics. Talk about economy, I will not answer you. No power, I will not talk. Roads are bad, I won't talk. But people die.
Since 2020, from 2020 to 2026, Nigeria made over $250 billion. They produced $250 billion worth of crude oil and natural gas. But guess how much reached the Federation account to be shared by the federal, state, and local government? Less than $30 billion. Less than $30 billion. Then you'll ask yourself, the remaining $220 billion, where did it go? This is the question. When somebody like Buhari came to say that there's no such thing as fuel subsidy, that fuel subsidy is a scam. In fact, he asked the question, who is subsidizing who? The NNPC group financial officer has come out to say, look, we are not paying any subsidy. The DSDP arrangement is such that we give them crude oil, they give us refined petrol. It's trade by barter. Not 1 naira goes into it for fuel subsidy. In fact, NNPC even makes money because the arrangement guarantees that 50% of the crude that is sent to the refineries and 50% of the refined petrol product that is brought back into Nigeria must be shipped using NNPC's shipping company. So, effectively, no subsidy is paid. But somehow, we were fooled, we were deceived to believe that subsidy is too expensive for us to pay. Somebody like Buhari knew that there was no subsidy being paid. Only corruption. People were just raising invoices and cashing out at the expense of the average Nigerian. Just raising invoices. Now, what you would have expected is that a Tinubu administration would have looked into all of this corruption, taken out the corruption, and freed all of these $250 billion. Majority of it, even the ones that go to the local oil companies and international oil companies, the ones that go to them as profit oil or as JV cash calls, those ones can be reduced because the cost of production of oil in Nigeria is about $40, which is high compared to what exists in Saudi Arabia. And they have equal terrain in terms of production. So you see that it is the corruption in the so-called subsidy and the oil and gas industry that is responsible for the disappearance of the huge $250 billion that we could have gotten in 6 years. But rather than for a Tinubu to face the corruption and take it out, he decided to subsidize the corrupt elite and punish Nigerians for it. But if Peter Obi were the president, what would have happened? The corruption in the oil and gas sector, in the NNPC, in the subsidy regime would have been exposed, and those responsible would have been made to pay back the money into Nigeria's coffers. $250 billion. Imagine if half of that money got into the Nigeria Federation account. There will be enough money that you don't need to punish people with high electricity tariff. You don't need to punish Nigerian citizens with high school fees and pretend that you are doing student loan. You will not need to punish Nigerians with high cost of petrol. You will not need to punish Nigerians with devalued naira. You will not need to punish Nigerians with all manner of taxes that Nigerians are being punished with under the Tinubu administration. A Peter Obi administration would have taken out that corruption, and we would be buying fuel for between 300 and 400 naira maximum. Yet, Nigerians will have massive job creation opportunities. So they will be richer under a Peter Obi. It is important that we know this, because if we don't, then we will allow ourselves to be drawn away by the propaganda of the Tinubu administration and the APC. And because we have poor opposition, they are not able to match them wheat for wheat. They will just distract us with uselessness when the real issues are not attended. 250 billion US dollars. Where did it go? Under a Peter Obi, we would have known by now. But is it so under Tinubu? The answer is no. The ball is in your court. If we want Nigeria to change, that new Nigeria we all know is possible, it can only come with free and fair elections. A revolution, yeah, you say might help, but the question is, who will bring the revolution? The people who have the capacity to do revolution are the people who are responsible for the corruption in the system. They are enjoying it, so they will not let a revolution happen. And in fact, even Nigerians that are suffering this harsh policy, they don't want to die. They have been broken by weaponized poverty, hunger, and unemployment. So they are quiet, not because they like the suffering under the APC and Tinubu, but because they are too weak to even talk. Is it those people you think will come and engage in a revolution? A revolution might work, but the possibility of a revolution is next to zero. The best option for us is free and fair election, guaranteed by Vote Watch and PU Marshal. Why? Because it's a parallel vote tabulation system that we put INEC on check. And it is something that is well within our reach as citizens. Very legal, very safe, operates in stealth mode for us to do. Check it out today. Let us make the 2027 election truly free and fair, and make it such that only genuine leaders emerge, so they can implement the right policies that will expose the corruption in the NNPC and reduce the price of petrol for us all. What is it going to be? The ball is in your court.